One uranium pellet is the size of a gummy bear.
Oh, cool.
It produces the same as one ton.
Wow, that's crazy.
Hi, this is Gord from Calgary. I did an early stand-up for nuclear on August 8th. Normally they're supposed to be in September, but there was a community event coming up and I wanted to jump on that. Marda Gras, community's Marda Loop, Marda Gras, haha. And I always wanted to set up a table for nuclear, and this year I finally did it. So I'm going to go over what I did in case it might feed some ideas for other stand-up for nuclear projects this year. I had a table set up and I created some 2-pager PDFs. This is Ultra Safe Nuclear Corporation. This is Terrestrial Energy. So I had 4 different vendors. Terrestrial and these guys are competing for the Chalk River site. If you just want to send an email to yourself from here, then I'll send you everything I can after. So I printed off double-sided 8.5 by 11s. I'm from Canada, so I had a how far through the licensing process various vendors were. I was highlighting these vendors because they're so far along in the licensing process. We might actually see these reactors in Alberta. Another thing I did was print off 9 pieces of information per 8.5 by 11 sheet, and I just cut them out so they were pretty small. This is the Stand Up for Nuclear poster for the banana. 1 uranium pellet equals 1 ton of coal. Of course, it was Isabella's gummy bear video that inspired me to give out gummy bears.
After working out, I eat something a little bit unusual. Gummy bears, roughly the size of uranium pellets. Uranium pellets are the fuel used in nuclear power plants. And just like gummy bears, they're super dense, which just means they're small but have a lot of energy inside. 1 uranium pellet, roughly the size of a gummy bear, has as much energy as 149 gallons of oil. These little green bags came from Michael's. Every one of these bags would have a bunch of gummy bears. You can see that information slip fits inside the bag. Gummy bears then got dropped in the bag, so when they cleared out all the gummy bears, and they'd see the message on the back. So 1 gummy bear worth of uranium would replace a ton of coal. It's very energy dense. My constraint ended up being gummy bears. I bought 3 1-kilo bags of gummy bears from Costco, and I should have bought a heck of a lot more. Then at the booth, I had a computer monitor displaying carbon intensity of nuclear power. And the computer monitor was really there, so if someone had a question, I wanted to bring up electricitymap.org, or I wanted to bring up something that I knew existed somewhere on the internet or on my hard drive, we could look at it together and I didn't have to twist the laptop around. If you want to compare Ontario to Germany, that's how I see things. Germany nuclear capacity it's small now because they've been retiring all their plants. They're basically destroying all their nuclear plants, but what they've got, they're running it at 100%. They have to use 100% of their nuclear. They're still planning on shutting that nuclear down. What are they going to replace it with, right? That's why they have a natural gas pipeline to Russia. So giving out gummy bears to kids with little slips of information in the bag, I think that was a big hit. I think it was worthwhile printing out double-sided vendor pieces of paper. A lot of people came by to tables to collect paper. A lot of people came by just to talk. And a lot of people wanted contact information. And what I didn't have was business cards or like a Canadians for Nuclear Energy card that I could give anyone. My involvement is I'm a volunteer for Canadians for Nuclear Energy. I think we should diversify our energy to include nuclear power. Ontario was able to decarbonize our grid mostly on the back of nuclear power. I was wearing a MP3 recording device on my neck. I was doing that really because I was worried there was going to be some kind of confrontation. I didn't know how people were going to receive nuclear power in the community, and I gotta say, no one objected to it at all.
I'm just shocked to see it, and it's like, oh my god, I gotta go over there.
Hope it keeps going forward. Yeah, nuclear technology's come a long way since Chernobyl.
What's going on here?
I'd like to buy a thorium shirt.
Yeah, the black one's actually mine. No one gets to buy this one because I've worn it.
But I've always been interested in the interaction between biology and radiation.
Are these available to purchase?
So you are promoting the use of nuclear energy? I'm in oil and gas, but I've always been fascinated in nuclear. Okay, you've got my attention. I'm a big fan of nuclear.
People were either curious or enthusiastic. No one was in my face or even objecting to the concept. I had some shirts made up. Slightly bastardized periodic table. On the back is uranium. So I know this is a little bit different from what most people would have to promote nuclear power, because I see a lot of shirts that have messages, and I really like a more obtuse design. This on the front, a lot of people look at that, they don't even know what it means. I know from experience wearing a thorium shirt, you can have TH on the front of a shirt. People will ask you what it is. And so the latest version, I don't actually say what it is on the front. It's just on the back. I like it just in terms of striking up conversations.
I just love the t-shirts. That's why I kind of stopped by.
No, I'll tell you they're $40. I guess you're getting the last small if that's the color you want. Yeah. A lot of people at Marda Gras really like the shirts. Unfortunately, I was selling them for $40 a pop because I couldn't figure out how to print them cheaply. And if I was selling them for $20 each, I would have sold a bunch. A lot of people just couldn't buy them because I was charging too much. So hopefully next year I'll have that worked out. I don't know how frequently people set up tables at community events. Because Stand Up for Nuclear is in September, it might get people not thinking they can do this year round, but I thought this was very successful. Punch in your email address in that to field, and basically you're sending an email to yourself from here, and then I can see where all the emails went and send a follow-up. A lot of people were probably exposed to the fact nuclear power is low carbon, and a lot of people came to me who had lived in Ontario, and they told me that they used to work at a CANDU plant, or they had relatives that worked at a CANDU plant. They were just wondering what was going to happen in Alberta, and I had to tell them I didn't know. I have no idea what's happening in Alberta, but a lot of people were very enthusiastic about nuclear power here in Calgary.